We've gathered a team of Australia's design industry leaders at M&C Saatchi in Sydney in the Tricky Jigsaw Labs to judge the top design innovations in Australia for the year. So this has been a tussle the whole way through. We're seeing products that are really advanced, technologically sophisticated. We're seeing smarts and electronics that can make the world a better place. But we also balance that against the classics. How will the jury choose which two go through to the top 10?
This has been the most amazing process for me. We've had 40 incredible projects, extraordinarily diverse, and what has been really exciting to see is that regardless of their diversity and things, that we really do have a whole nation of problem solvers. We're really creating design that is moving our world forward.
Peter Friedman of Rode Microphones loved this design innovation for networking hardware in harsh environments.
Information and communications in a mine are vital, of course, for safety for the people working there, but also profitability for the company. This is a modular system. They can send it to anybody, plug and play, straight in.
Mining is a competitive global industry. The need for effective and efficient networking systems is essential in order to maintain productivity and to keep our workers safe. NConnects is revolutionising the way we look at network mining systems, right here in the heart of Australia.
Everybody's pretty used to using networks and such on the surface, but in the underground world, we didn't have that. It started out with safety, being able to track where people are, communicate with them. If we have machinery that shuts down or fails, we know that already. We're pulling all that information back over our network. We can then direct the correct person underground to go and fix that piece of machinery very quickly. If we have a distribution module fail, we just lift it off the rack, take a new one, plug it back in, and away she goes. If we need an extra rail, we want to expand the system, which we can do because it's modular. We simply clip another one of these little brackets on, hang it up, and put another rail on.
Oh, wow. So this is the unit here.
This is NConnects. What we've gone away from is the old design was communication cabinets that you had to be a tradesperson to access. This can be easily accessible and easily maintained.
And it looks like a really great sort of power tool. I mean, it looks very robust, I suppose.
It's a nice design. It's designed for harsh environments. We've drop tested the units. There are protective end caps, so you can set them on the ground without damaging the connectors or the units themselves.
So what we're looking at here is it mounted in different areas of the mine then? It doesn't have to all be in one location?
Yeah, so each level has one of these rails and these modules set up. So this is really the backbone of the whole underground communication system. We run a Cat6 cable up to the roof, and if we follow that cable over, we've got an access point, our net port bolt, which gives us our Wi-Fi coverage in a key area where we have vehicle interaction, personnel working up and down the access drive.
Initially, you might wonder why you would invest time in the design of a product that's hidden deep underground. But NConnects is a great example of design adding value. Its form is almost exclusively derived from its function. It's intuitive, it's modular, it's robust. And like a good set of tools on any work site, NConnects saves time and money.
Our team of design industry leaders are judging the best design innovations in Australia for the year. Leading the judging is Terry Winter from Top 3 ByDesign and Dr. Brandon Guillen from the Good Design Awards.
I think the top 10 is just an awesome bunch of projects that reflect the diversity of Australia by Design. And it's positioning design in a really interesting way. It's not just about beautiful kettles and beautiful toasters, but it's actually about, at the heart of it, solving a real problem that's going to make a difference to our lives.
Sam Lanyon of Planet Innovation praised this revolutionary idea. It was designed by Tricky Jigsaw, so Ben Cooper took his leave from the table.
The fire blanket is a lot more innovative than the name implies. It's not just about managing and controlling bushfires, it's actually providing really effective tools for emergency services so that they can actually come up with new ways of preventing the bushfires of the future.
1 in 10 Australians are affected by bushfires. Loss of life, destroyed homes and belongings, not to mention the personal trauma. Knowledge is power. If we could just know more about the fires earlier, we could stop so much heartache. the fire blanket. I'm picturing a giant blanket across our bush.
Sort of, although it's not a physical blanket. NRMA Fire Blanket creates a real-time wireless mesh network. And not only do they have intelligence inside them that smells things, it creates a virtual blanket across each node, across that environment, which makes that environment smart. So as each node sniffs the environment, hoping to get a signal, when they get one, another one will communicate the fact that it hasn't, another one will, and all of a sudden you can start to triangulate where that bushfire is.
So we're talking about thousands of homes, millions of dollars worth of damage done by fire, and now we've got information that's live instead of old data from the last report.
Yeah, you're bang on. It's huge, actually. It's like 1 in 10 Australians are affected by bushfire, and millions are spent sort of getting people back on their feet again.
It's one of those ideas when people hear it, they go, I could have thought about that. But the thing about an idea is basically how do you take it from the paper and actually make it into a real form? That's the hardest thing.
So this is one of our first prototypes. We moved on from there to this, and this was in a backburn out in St Ives.
This one is gorgeous. I mean, I really want one of these.
We have a philosophy which is tangibility makes ideas unstoppable, and that's really critical. Whilst we need the right technology and engineering prowess, we also need the power of design to move things forward.
As a creative, whenever you work in this field, you're always looking for that one project that you hope could change the world, and I actually believe this could be that one.
Design is often about a physical thing, and here we do have that. But this is part of a much bigger picture.
Form Design's Edward Curry found the next innovation to be an ingenious update to an everyday item.
You know, when you're trying to take a key off a keyring, it's painful sometimes. So what you do with this one is you just pull something down, turn it around, and you can actually take it out quite easily without breaking your nails.
The Orbit Key. I stumbled across these guys about 4 years ago. I fell in love with the product immediately. I've been stocking it in my stores ever since. Basically, it creates a neat stack out of your keys. No more jingling, no more scratching your phone in your pocket. So, what's next for Orbit Key? Hey Charles, how are you?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Good. Charles, I just love the Orbit Key. Well done.
Thank you. How's it going, by the way?
Oh, it's just brilliant. I can't keep enough of them in the stores.
Well, that's what we want to hear.
How did you get started with it? It was a crowdfunding campaign, right?
Oh, yeah. So we actually did a Kickstarter campaign 4 years ago, and it went amazing because we wanted to raise $10,000, and by the end of that 30 days, we actually raised $210,000.
Oh, you must have been amazed.
Yes, I was so amazed, and I actually ended up quitting my job so to pursue it full time. So that was really, really amazing experience.
So Charles, what's up next?
Well, we've been working on something for a year now, and I really can't wait to show you what we've come up with. This is the original Orbit Key, but this is the Orbit Key Ring.
The new innovation. Run me through it because it's looking a little like a classic key ring at the moment.
Well, it's not. Let me tell you why. Just say you're house sitting my house for the weekend.
Please don't ask me to water the plants. I am not a green thumb.
Well, usually with the normal keyring, you have to find something sharp to pry open the keyring.
Or destroy my nails.
Yes. With this, you can just do that.
How did you do that? That's a magic trick.
It's not quite a magic trick. There is an inner ring and an outer ring that rotates against each other. You can put in a key, keep rotating until it locks. It also works with the bigger key, like a car key.
Okay, so I just rotate the two separate rings and off comes the key. So simple. So ultimately, what are your plans with this?
Well, we've actually just launched our Kickstarter campaign. So the plan is to raise enough money to hopefully go big and convert all the key users out there.
World domination.
Fingers crossed.
I love these guys. To reinvent the common keyring, to look at it differently. Design really is in the details. I look forward to stocking these.
Partnering with the Good Design Awards, our team of design industry leaders are judging Australia's top design innovations for the year.
This is an electronic catalogue which gives you your furniture. You're going to have other items you can look at, but you can sit there at home, click on the room, have a look, drop the piece of furniture in there, walk around, you'll see it in your lounge room. As well as that, it allows you to be a bit more creative and see what a yellow or a red couch or chair would look in the room, which you normally mightn't buy, but when you see it in real time, you go, that looks cool.
Online shopping may be convenient, but what are you buying and how do you know? What if you could bring the shop home with you? My friend Penny is after a new sofa. You up for a spot of shopping, Penny?
Oh my God, Tim, I'd love to!
So this is a great choice for you, Penny.
Tim, I love it. You know me too well. It's gorgeous.
Shall we give it a go?
Yes, yeah,
Let's see what it's like to sit in and recline and enjoy our little martinis on an afternoon in that sunny little
Tim, I
apartment.
think this is very comfortable, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it is, Travis.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's very nice, but Penny, is it too safe? Is it too you?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, Penny.
What do you think?
My
Should we push her a
goodness.
bit?
Yeah, I think so. Let's be brave, Penny. Come on.
Okay.
This is the one I've got in mind.
This is it. I love the look of it. I don't know 100% if it's me.
How about we try it out? Penny is a classic top 3 customer, looking to make a new purchase, unsure about whether it's going to work in the space. We actually have a tool that we can use to help you imagine and see what it looks like at home.
You do?
We do.
Oh, my goodness, that's amazing. I
Yep.
love that.
So, Jordan, how does it work?
Well, you just download the app, choose the piece of furniture you want, and press the button.
Wow, so you've got 2 there suddenly. One I can see, the other is on your screen. I can change the colour of the legs, I can change the fabric. Show me brown leather.
Yeah, I'll just press the button, choose it here.
So this thing, hang on a minute. You're telling me this is 3-dimensional.
You can look at it from any angle.
I can see stitching, I can see the back, I can see underneath. There's a button on the side I can see as well. So it's got all of the detail of the real thing.
You can download the app from anywhere in the world. Just try it out in your living room.
So Penny, here's your old sofa. It is a bit big, it's a bit dark for the space.
I know, Tim. I'm ready for a change.
Time to go, old friend. The only question is what takes its place. So you like that first one? It was very square,
Yes.
very deep.
Yes, and I'm seeing it here and it looks fantastic. Can we try the next one just to see?
Second one is there.
Now, that's fantastic, Tim. I never would have thought it would fit so well into the house, and that's great to be able to see it like that.
Think it's time to call Travis? Penny, well done. Do you like it? Are you happy?
I love it, Tim. It gave me the confidence to be brave. Thank you. And to Travis.
Ben Cooper from Tricky Jigsaw thought our next innovation was obvious, yet brilliant.
This is one of those head slap moments. You kind of look at this and you go, why doesn't this exist already? This turns your fire alarm into something that can actually start to tackle the problem. I think it's genius.
The original smoke detector was invented in 1902, and in that time, its function hasn't really changed that much. That's up until now. This little device has the potential to take the smoke detector to a whole new level.
The invention of the smoke alarms has saved thousands of lives. But let me ask you this question. If you're not home to hear your smoke alarm beeping, what does it do?
Well, I guess it emits a really loud noise while potentially your house burns down.
Exactly.
So, Sean, this performs a very important function, but your device gives this a second function.
It sure does. And do you want to grab that and I'll show you how it works?
All right, this looks like fun.
Brandon, in Australia there are over 11,000 house fires every year. A lot of them are because of electrical faults, but what you see here in the kitchen is what accounts for over 50% of house fires. So this is a really dangerous situation. You can see how quickly a fire can get out of control. Hear the smoke alarm beeping? Let me show you what my device does. Smoke alarm is beeping. It sent a signal to the smoke alarm safety switch, which is tripped off, and that's cut the source to the fire, which is electricity, and the fire stopped.
That's brilliant. And I noticed that the solar power feed switch has also been tripped out.
That's been turned off from your solar panels, which helps people to evacuate the building, but also with firefighters coming in to fight the fire, there is no electricity in the building.
Anything extra, anything at all, if it's a small fire extinguisher, if it's a blanket or something like this, which technology-wise and innovation-wise is obviously complementing the smoke alarm, even if it saved one life, even if in fact it reduced the injury or risk of fire, it's obviously an innovation that's very, very welcomed.
This is a real game changer, and I'm just astounded why it hasn't been thought of before. Good design solves problems, but great design prevents them.
Our select group of design industry leaders are down to the final 2 projects for the series.
Australia's got the highest penetration of solar PV in the world. And what HeatGrabber does is it's looking to actually improve the efficiency of those panels whilst also taking the heat away and using it for other purposes. It's a really big idea and I'm looking forward to seeing where this technology goes.
There are 1.7 million of these things sitting on Australian roofs, generating electricity, heating our water, saving us money, and even putting energy back into the grid. This next idea aims to turbo boost all of that. So Chris, there's an enormous amount of solar panels around here. What exactly is going on?
Well, this is our outdoor research facility for solar panels. We use it for our own research, but we've opened it up to Australian industry as part of doing what we do for Australia as CSIRO.
So you guys are kind of guns for hire, I guess. You allow this space to be used by external parties as well?
Yeah, well, we're all about solving problems using science. So that can be for our biggest client, which is the federal government, or it can be for companies of any size who have an innovation that they want to test.
Mohit, it's an incredibly hot day out here and we've got the solar panels in the background. They must be cooking.
Brandon, you must be thinking that in a day like this, the solar panels will be working great, right? But that's actually not true. We need a lot of sunlight, but the hotter they get, the less efficient they get because...
Hang on a second. The hotter they get, the less efficient they become.
That's absolutely correct, right? It's a fun fact, and not many people are aware of it. A day like this, it's like 35 degrees Celsius. The panels will be running on around about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. Now, that will reduce the efficiency by 10 to 20% of the panels. So if we can somehow make the panels run on a cooler temperature, that increases the efficiency of the panel.
This is where your clever idea comes in, right?
Yes, and it's called heat grabber. Our panel sticks behind any solar panel which is out there, grabs all the excess heat, helps the panel run on a cooler temperature, increases its lifespan, and you can use that heat in your house, whichever way you want.
So Chris, this is the test rig you've got set up for the heat grabber?
That's right. Think of it like the solar panels are in intensive care and we're measuring all of their vital signs.
Never seen so many screens in all my life.
Well, this is where the magic happens. The data comes in here. This is the diagnostic curve for the solar panels that we're measuring. It's a very useful curve. It contains a lot of information about how that solar panel is performing at the time.
So Mohit, the excess heat that you take out of the solar panel, what do you do with it?
So you can heat up your hot water systems, you can use it in the steam generators, absorption air conditioning units. There's a lot of ways you can use that heat.
When most people want to install a solar hot water system, it usually sits on the roof.
Yes, but now they can just retrofit heat grabber panels with the existing solar panel system, and they can use that excess heat to heat up their hot water system.
I learned two new things today. The first is that the hotter these things get, the less efficient they become. It just seems so counterintuitive, really. And the second is that an amazing facility like this can be made available to people like Mohit to test their game-changing ideas in this rapidly expanding solar market.
Going bush is an Australian pastime. Land cruisers beating the path to somewhere unknown. But it also comes with a bit of a challenge, because if you get bogged, it kind of ruins the whole trip. So you could either pack a load of gear, or you could put this in the trunk.
So Lorne, this is Bogger Box.
This is the Bogger Box. My wife and I are four-wheel driving and camping enthusiasts, and what we realise is people get bogged. This is a multi-purpose tool that can be used for four-wheel drive recovery, and it's also used as a storage container. So I was looking online and I saw that other people were using other brands that only do one thing. And I thought to myself, well, what if it could do more than one thing? And I saw someone that was using a milk crate. They cut up the milk crate, tied the sides together, and used that as four-wheel drive recovery tracks.
But I guess the problem with using a milk crate is once you've chopped it up, then you don't have a storage container anymore.
Well, that's exactly right. And so then what do you do with it? Whereas this has more than one use.
What's it made out of?
It's a strong, durable copolymer.
That sounds technical.
So the clips can either stay in or they can come out. They will be strong enough to drive over at any stage.
So there's only one thing to do. Let's get bogged and test this thing out. That was really easy.
It is, isn't it, Terry? And it's one of the things I love about the Bogger Box is how simple it is. And so there will be, to make it simpler, a cooler bag available, which can turn it into an esky. and it'll also be a strong canvas bag, so you can put all your equipment in there, take the canvas bag out, and then you can put it back in.
There are huge advantages to maximising space when you're going off-road. Having a product that's multi-use and space-saving is worth its weight in gold.
So there's only 2 more spots in the top 10. The really big question is which 2 will make it through from this episode? After much deliberation, the judges have chosen the smoke alarm safety switch and the NRMA fire blanket. Next episode, we count down the final top 10 from the series, where our judges decide which is the #1 innovation for the year. For more information, go to australiabydesign.com.au.